Good evening, students. Myself, Sanat Kumar Swai, and we'll be discussing today about the concept of macro marketing uh, and micro marketing environment. Okay. Before this class, earlier we had already in the previous classes we have discussed about various kinds of concepts uh, of the marketing management. We had also taken an introductory class on marketing management, and today we'll be discussing about the marketing scenario, what kind of marketing scenario in terms of macro marketing environment and micro marketing environment, okay, and various kinds of concepts relating to this uh, environment. So what do you mean by macro and what do you mean by micro? What is the basic concept of macro concept and micro concept? Macro is a broad concept. If we are taking something into a taking broadly, then that is known as macro. And if something is very minutely, if we are taking anything very minutely, considering or discussing anything minutely, then that is known as micro. So if that terms can be taken into the marketing environment, okay, if you are studying the marketing environment of a particular organization, then the macro environment and the micro environment are very important, very fundamental concepts in the marketing behavior, marketing scenario of any kind of businesses. Okay, so which can help any kind of business organizations to adapt to various kinds of external factors which can impact their operations seriously. Okay. So what are these environment, and why this is important, and what kind of strategies can be adopted, and what kind of forces we'll be looking into it. So this environment encompasses various kinds of elements and forces which can influence any company's strategies to achieve various kinds of overall successes in an organization. So the first is macro marketing environment. The macro marketing environment refers to a broader aspect. Okay, so if we are looking at the broader aspect of a organizational environment, then definitely the external factors has to be taken into consideration. Okay, so now what are these factors which needs to be studied? Okay, and what kind of strategies must be undertaken to accommodate these kind of factors? Very important. Okay, so the macro environment can be analyzed using the pestle framework. Okay, now what do you mean by pestle framework? It is a framework for the macro environment. So pestle, P stands for political factor. Mm, E stands for economic factors. S stands for socio-cultural, technological factors, environmental factors, and legal factors. If there is any sort of legal aspects which need to be studied, then that is one of the factors. Okay, so we'll be going deep into it by studying all of the factors. Okay, so these are the pestle framework. Okay, political framework. So various kinds of policies and laws related issues. Any kind of if there is a stable government, okay, stable political government, that is very important for any kind of organizational. Um, if there is an if they want to operate in a particular setting, they have to have a particular geographical location. They consider a stable and corruption free political government. So that is one of the important factor. The second is economic. Okay, what kind of economic factors are important? The economic factors means whether it has got the geographical location where the companies want to operate. That should have an economic growth opportunity for economic growth. The inflation should be less, and the interest rates should be high. Employment should be an opportunity for employment generation, and the household income should also be um, should also be high in any kind of okay. So these all factors contribute the economic factor. Now, social factor. If you see the social factors, what kind of a population a society has, or a particular geographical location has, and whether the population is an aging population or that is a young population. Like if you see uh, uh, the context of India, if you see the Indian population, for example, we say that the population is a young population, very young population. Whereas if we consider that with the European population or with the Chinese population, you will see that that's a aging population. Most of the organizations, most of the companies, they're very interested in the in by considering the social factor that India is a um, young population, a mass of young population. Okay, what kind of career views, what kind of career views the mass population have? Okay, and what kind of lifestyles the population um, they undergo, that is also important in the social factor. Now, when there is an organization which wants to operate in a particular setting, they have to also check the cultural barrier, whether there's a barrier for cultural barrier. Like for example, when McDonald's or Burger King, okay, they wanted to KFC, for instance, if they wanted to enter the Indian market, okay, they have to understand our cultural barriers. Our cultural should be studied beforehand before entering the Indian market. How? Because see, if you go to a McDonald's, okay, in any part of the globe, you will see that they sell hamburger. Now, what is hamburger? Beef burger. Okay. So, considering the cultural issues in our country, cultural, being a Hindu population, we don't make beef. So, while entering the Indian market, those type of companies, they should understand the cultural values which they are going to uh, face while entering the Indian market. So this is one of the examples. So this all comes under social factors. Now, technological factor. What is technological factor? Technology incentive. Okay. What kind of technology incentive has been provided to to the, the masses? Whether there's a opportunity for innovation in a particular geographical setting, uh, whether there is an R&D activity, R&D research and development activities can be taken or not, whether that is a automation or that is a manual, whether the technology can be uh, automated or that can be manual. These are the factors which is related to technology. Now, environment is also one of the important factor while entering any kind of um, uh, geographical area or any kind of um, population, like climate change. Okay, so let's say for example, an organization tries to invest in Maldives. Okay, so they have to be very careful because as per the report, that's a sinking country. Okay? If they want to invest in Bangladesh, okay, Bangladesh is also one of the country which is going to face the root of climate change. Okay, so when an organization, when a company is investing billions of dollars in a particular country, they have to think about the climate change. They have to think about the environment. Okay, whether that is going to sustain. They have a sustainability issues in a few years, in the coming years or not. Okay, so they have to be very much cautious about the environmental factors also. Okay, next, ethical. While working in a particular environment, they have to be ethical. They have to understand the ethical environmental issues to protect the environment of that particular area. Whether they are having any sort of recycling and disposal facility or not. Okay, whether that they have a sustainability methods for the particular organization, or that all comes under the environmental factors. Okay, now legal factors. So before doing the Prestel framework, the legal factors also can be taken into consideration, like labor laws, whether there's a Copyright Act or not, whether there is a Data Protection Act, whether there is health and safety hazards. Okay, so these all comes under the legal framework. Okay, so as we have already discussed about the political factors, that the government strategies, the government policies, like various governments have got their various kinds of government policies. Okay, whether that's a stable government, not, whether what kind of international relation a particular government is enjoying in the international market, that also can impact a company's operation and in any market. Okay, in accessing any kind of market. Economic factors. Okay, so economic factors such as exchange rates, with inflation rates, interest rates, and various kinds of economic stability can also influence the customers' spending ability. Okay, whether a customer wants to spend or not, that depends on these kinds of these economic factors. Okay, and the business investment, whether there is a demand in the market or not. Okay, so these all contribute the economic factor of a particular place. Now, socio-cultural factor. What are the socio-cultural factors? Like we have already discussed about the societal values, norms, various demographies. You see, India is a diverse country, and we have various kinds of demographies in different states. Okay, so the companies, they have to consider these kind of socio-cultural factors while investing or while doing the market survey in those particular areas. Okay, the cultural trends also, cultural patterns also, it changes from place to place. Okay, the lifestyle changes, the patterns changes, how the customer's attitude changes. Okay? And that can have a profound impact on what kind of product we are preferring and our buying behavior. Okay, a people or a customer's buying behavior and its preference for a particular product, it may change. Okay, based on the societal values, based on the demographical values, based on various kinds of cultural trends. Okay, these kind of socio-cultural factors are very important in understanding the society at whole. Now, technological factor. Okay, today's world is a dynamic world, dynamic society. It's a technological society. The technology is advancing like never before. Okay, there is AI, artificial intelligence, ML, machine learning. Okay, these are very innovative technological advancement, which is going to change. In fact, it is changing the human society like never before. Okay, so the advancement in various technology and various kinds of innovation and adopting various kinds of tools and platforms, that can also create opportunities, and that can also provide challenges for various businesses operating in different kinds of geographical locations, and how that can also affect the market and while delivering the product and services in that particular geographical settings. Okay, so technological factors are also one of the important factors in Pestel analysis. Environmental factor, as we have already discussed, that let's say in a particular geographical scenario, the customer preference can be for any kind of eco-friendly product. Okay, which can also shape the marketing strategies and the product development. Okay, so let's say in a particular geographical location, the customer, they may prefer any eco-friendly product rather than products which may have potentiality to destroy their environment. So they may discard that. So there has to be concern. The company, they should address this kind of concerns before launching any kind of product in any particular places. Legal factors. Okay. So legal factor has a profound effect in in uh, in entering any kind of business location, because laws, rules and regulations, the changes, okay, from that regulations at a local level, at a national level or an international level, that can impact various kinds of marketing strategies, that can impact various kinds of marketing practices, okay, various kinds of advertisement and product distribution strategies that may change. Okay, so these kind of legal factors has to be taken into consideration. Now, micro marketing environment. Okay. As we have already discussed about the macro, which tends to be the external factors which is going to influence any company. The micro marketing environment, on the other hand, focuses on which kind of factors, which are very specific, which are very minute to any company. Okay, so these kind of factors are these kind of factors are more controllable. This can be controlled by the company. The external factors may or may not be controlled by a company, but internal factors may, that can be very easily controlled by a company and while making the decisions. Okay, so the micro environment is analysis the 5 forces framework. It's a 5 forces framework which includes suppliers. Okay. Who are the suppliers? Okay, when a company is operating in any geographical location, okay, um, and while producing the product, they need a supplier. The supplier who provides the raw material or the component for that finished product. Okay, so those are known as supplier. So they are the relationship with the supplier. Okay, what kind of relationship you have, a company has with a supplier, can impact the various kinds of cost, various kinds of quality, and subsequently the production of the product. Okay, so having a good and proper relationship with the supply is of very important. Second, customer. While launching any kind of product, the customer needs, the customer preference, and the customer behavior are extremely essential in getting any kind of marketing success. If we fail, if a organization fail to understand the customer needs, it fails to understand the customer's preference and its behavior, then that is going to be a catastrophic problem for the company. So the company must segment their market. Okay, they must segment their market, like we have already discussed about the pyramid. Okay, so what kind of strategies need to be undertaking to meet those particular customers demand effectively? If a customer is at the bottom of the pyramid, their strategies may be different from the customers who are at the top of the pyramid. Okay, now competitors. Definitely there are competitors all around. When a company is operating in any kind of geographical location, then the company has to face the competitors. Okay, so before entering into any kind of any geographical location, the company has to analyze, they have to do a thorough market research on the competitors. First thing is that they have to understand, they have to have a thorough market research about the available customers, available competitors. Who are the competitors who are competing them in that particular areas? Okay, and analyzing the competitor's strength, weaknesses, strategies, what kind of strategies they are adopting, and their marketing positioning. Okay, is very crucial in differentiating. If there is a differentiation, then differentiating one company's product and getting a competitive attitude, competitiveness edge in the society. Intermediaries. Now, intermediaries. Who are the intermediaries? The middle persons, intermediaries. So it's like the entire is like distributors, your wholesalers, your retailers, who are going to help you in distribution of your product and in promotion of your product. Okay. So if a customer, if a company, if they have a very strong relationship with these kind of intermediaries, that can also have a profound effect on how their customers are going to reach the consumers. Okay, publics. Okay, these include the other stakeholders like the government, the media, the various kinds of groups working in for the public, and and also the general public. So when a customer when a company is operating in a particular geographical location, they have to manage these kind of public, they have to have a public relationship. Okay, and they have to give the importance to this public perception. If a company fails to give importance to this public perception, then that is going to be a very dangerous and catastrophic issue for operation of the company. Okay, so this is very vital. This is very vital for any kinds of company's success and their reputation. Okay, so before concluding, we'll have a we can summarize it that the marketing macro marketing environment, it consists of the external factors. Okay, the external factors which where the company have less or may not have any kind of role to play. I mean, very less role to play. Okay, no control. We can say very less control. I mean, external factors is something which the company cannot um, have a stronghold. Okay, and it can try to change that environment. It can try to incorporate those kind of macro marketing strategies, but definitely it is something beyond the reach of the company, and they have to be various kinds of um, changes has to be adopted, okay, to bring that macro marketing strategies into control. Okay, now and that can also affect the entire industry or the market, while the micro marketing environment encompasses factors which are very specific to a company. Okay, so both the environment play very important role. Okay, they play very important role in helping the business incorporating the business strategies, okay, and overall success. But the businesses must monitor, and they have to be open to in adapting to these kind of changes, okay, uh, which are very important to remain competitive and meet the customer needs and demands. Okay, and to ward off the competitors at bay. Okay. So in overall summary, if you see, then both the macro marketing environment is also important, as well as the micro marketing strategy is also important. Okay, but the only difference between that two is that macro marketing is something which is outside external factors which are influencing the company's decision, and micro marketing strategies which is inside the company, which are very specific to the company. Okay, so thank you so much for your time and patience. I believe we have completed the concept of micro and macro marketing environment, and how that is shaping, how it shapes a company's decision making process while doing any kind of market research in any geographical location. Thank you very much. Thank you.